Welcome back to the Hennisphere, everyone, and welcome to your spoiler-free guide to Fright Fest 2025 at Six Flags Fiesta Texas in San Antonio, Texas. In this video, I'm going to be listing all of the amazing haunted houses, scare zones, food offerings, live entertainment shows, and new for this year features. And it's all going to be spoiler-free, not going to ruin it for anyone. I'm going to tell you all where you can find all of these things in the park, what time of day you can experience them, and how much they cost. First off, we need to talk about some policies that are in place. There is a chaperone policy, and it is for people who are 15 years or younger. They will need an adult with them if they want to get into the park. Meaning if you are 16 years old or older, you are probably going to have your ID checked. When you are in the park with people 15 years or younger, you have to stick with them the whole time, or else security may find you and ask you to leave if they can't find an adult around. The other thing to note is that face paint is allowed if it's on half of your face. Masks are not allowed, but if you are 12 or under, then full face paint and masks are actually allowed. And finally, there is no filming or recording of any kind in the haunted houses. In the scare zones, you are allowed to film and record, but you cannot use the flash on your cameras. Let's start off with the scare zones. There are 7 this year. A lot of them are returning. You'll see these infographics all over social media for Six Flags Fiesta Texas, and these are great. Really easy to reference. Starting with Dia de los Muertos. This is at the very front of the park. It's very colorful. It's Day of the Dead themed, obviously. It's in the name. And then you have Wicked Hollow in Spasberg. This is a returning area that always features the troll and the warthog. Again, I've shown all of this before, so like no spoilers here. Not going to show you anything that happens at night. In Crack Axle Canyon, you have Steam Pumpkins, and that goes with the steampunk theme. Lots of pumpkins there. Lots of cool stuff by the train station. And you may see some of the scare actors doing some cool stuff, let's just say on the ground. Not gonna ruin it for you. In Rockville, you have the Festival of Fright, and this is the kids area. This is the trick-or-treating trail, if you will. There's a lot of houses set up for this over there. In the boardwalk, you have 2 areas. You have the Carnival of Terror, which is full of clowns, and you also have Hell Valley Cemetery, which sits there all year round. This is one of the more extreme scare zones. It feels more like a haunted house. The other one of the extreme variety is called Fear Acres, and it's in the water park. So you're actually going to enter through the normal Hurricane Harbor entrance. This is a very wide open scare zone. Probably not as scary as Hell Valley Cemetery.
You sure about that?
Moving on to the actual haunted houses, we have 6, and 4 of them are new this year. So the 2 that are not new are Twisted in the Boardwalk and the Conjuring Universe. That was here in the same area last year. It replaced Buried Alive. But the other 4 mazes are really cool. So we have Nosferatu and Hexenhaus in Spasberg. And then we have Cinema Slasher coming over from Knott's Scary Farm in the Rockville High School. This is replacing Stranger Things from last year. It has been hyped up. There has been a lot said about it, such as at the FT92 event. Not gonna say how it is, but you got to check all of these out. And then last but not least, we have Saw Legacy of Terror, which is replacing Slaughterhouse 6 in Crack Axle Canyon. This one everyone needs to do. I'm just gonna say that. Now moving on to the live entertainment. There are some things here that you're not gonna find listed everywhere. For the shows, you have Haunted Hollywood, Zaragoza Theater. On the app, you'll find all of this, but on the website, you don't see stuff for Haunted Hollywood or the Spectral Sisters. Make sure that you're using the app. There is a QR code here that you should scan. Download the Six Flags app. It is your one-stop shop for all of the information that you need. Teatro Fiesta happening in the Los Festivales area. There's multiple show times. Over by Pete's Eats, there's another smaller show called the Heebie-Jeebies, and there are actually 2 shows happening here. So the Spectral Sisters is happening here as well. So I believe each one has 2 or 3 times a day that it runs, and usually it's midday, not late at night, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But at Zaragoza Theater, you have Haunted Hollywood, and this is a bigger production. This is one that I definitely think you have to do if you can't do all of the shows. It's indoors, it's a big theater. And now I'm gonna move to the Arrival in Crack Axle Canyon. This is a must. There's so many things I'm saying are a must, but you really need to do this. Every year, this is something that a lot of people look forward to. There are upwards of 500 people that gather for this on a nightly basis, and it's gonna get crazier as we move into October next month. And then Lone Star Lils, which is very close to where the Arrival happens, has 3 shows. 2 of them are new or returning. So at 8 o'clock, they have Crossroads, and then at 9 o'clock, they have the Monster Mash Bash. That is more of a fan favorite as well. A lot of people have wanted it to come back. There's a lot of people on stage for this one. It's really cool. And then you have the Frightful Finale, which is your ending show of the night that happens when the park closes. Everyone likes to sit on the lawn and watch this. Again, no spoilers. You can look at the logo and understand what it's all about. Next, we're gonna move on to the food. Now they have different drink stands set up all over the park. They have clown juice in the boardwalk. They have Frankenstein's place. Zombie Shots is in Rockville. Thirsty Buffalo and Crack Axle Canyon is serving stuff, and then cocktails on the corner. You will see some of the same things offered at all of these, like your draft beer, your canned beer, but you've also got some interesting concoctions at each one, and it's fun to try them. Now for the food, you're gonna see a couple of the same desserts in different areas. You're also gonna see the entrees in different areas. So for the desserts, at the Mockingbird funnel cake stand at the front of the park, as well as Funnelicious towards the back of the park next to Joker, they're gonna feature something called a Gravedigger funnel cake, and it sounds delicious. It's approximately $15. At Captain Jack's, they are offering Devil's Delights, which is deep fried stuffed jalapenos. And then at Old Blues, Sangerfest Hall, and Primo's, they are offering pumpkin pie and worms and dirt parfait. And again, no spoilers, but the worms and dirt looks amazing. That's something I'm gonna get this year. And I mean, same with the pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin pie, so I'm gonna try that at least once. But the thing that they're only offering at Sangerfest and Primo's is a special Diablo pizza slice. This is buffalo chicken pizza and ranch sauce.
Hold on to your butts.
So that's also something I want to try because I love buffalo sauce on literally anything. And you can see the prices of that on the screen here. It's pretty much the same as all the other stuff. Now, another thing I should talk about in Rockville is along with that trick or treat trail, which has been here for years and years, this is happening earlier on in the day. So before 6 o'clock, this is when you should go out and trick or treat with children. You're not gonna have any of the scare actors out there. It's gonna be broad daylight. There are other things to do in this area. So they have a crafts corner. You can make arts and crafts things. Kids can wear their costumes here. If you have kids, make sure you explore the Rockville area earlier in the day. There's more for them to do. And you'll also notice that some of the games have been changed over to include more kids' buckets. I don't know exactly what's in these buckets, but it looks like they can simply pick one out instead of having to actually play the midway games and win a prize. You can just buy one for the kids. Now, last but not least, the new features for this year, there's two. One of them is a No Boo necklace. You can find these in a couple of areas. I saw them at the Hurricane Harbor gift shop, and I saw them at the Rockville candy shop. And this is $18.99. It lights up purple, and if you wear this, none of the scare actors will mess with you. And I think that's the same with the haunted houses as well. You can still go in the haunted houses. No one will try to interact with you. If you don't like being scared, this is for you. You can kind of take it easy and relax. If you want something though on the side and you're not interested in doing the haunted houses or paying the extra money for that, which I'll get to in a second, you can get a new interactive lantern. These look really cool. I saw a lot of people buying them. I saw them available in 3 different areas throughout the park. And overall, I think I saw 100 people using them when I was there on Saturday for opening night. I didn't know if people would buy them or not because the price is a little steep in my opinion, but they say that there are many areas around the park where you can use these to interact with some of the scenery. I'm gonna try to go through all the areas that I saw. Starting at the front of the park, there are 2 in the Los Fest area around that Dia de los Muertos scare zone. There's 2. Keep your eyes out for both of those. Over by the entrance to Hurricane Harbor at Fear Acres, there is another interactive point. And then moving into Crack Axle Canyon, each of the steam pumpkins, the big pumpkins, they each have an interactive lantern button. And then moving on towards DC Universe, I did not actually see anything there as far as interaction goes. But in Rockville, it looked like maybe half of those Halloween houses had lantern points. And then moving into the boardwalk, again, I didn't notice any over there. But in in front of Scream, I did notice the Alien and UFO site was another interactive point. So overall, I don't know how many that is. I would say there's close to a dozen interactive points. And I saw them working, not gonna spoil it. It looked cool. Some of these areas looked really cool, but don't be discouraged because it's kind of finicky, just like the wands with Harry Potter at Universal Studios. Sometimes it's all in the motion of trying to get the lantern to activate the point. You may be in the right spot, but you're just not holding the lantern right. It's going to get better as time goes on. I know some people went to the opening day like I did and they thought like, it's not as good as last year. Well, remember, the scare actors are rehearsing their parts still. They're trying to perfect their craft. And for the live entertainment shows, there were still some technical bugs to work out. It's going to get better over time. So anyway, on to the prices. On Saturday, September 6th, opening night, it was $40 for a wristband to access all the haunted houses. That price is going to fluctuate as we move through September and into October. The prices will be as high as $50 per person per wristband in October. And if you plan on going multiple days, I highly suggest that you get the all-season haunted house pass. And the way that you do this, because it was not very easy to access, is you go online to the Six Flags website, click on any of the tickets on the left side in red. Doesn't matter which one. It's going to take you to a page that has a yellow banner going across the top. Click on the 3 lines on the left and scroll down to where it says Fright Fest, and you will see Haunted Attractions Pass and Season Haunted Attractions Pass. Click on the Season Haunted Attraction Pass. There is where you can purchase the pass. Now, when you pay, it's going to be $83 with taxes. You then have to go to guest services and they will scan your pass to add it on there. After you do that, you can get in line with everyone else for the normal wristbands, and you simply tell them that you purchased the season wristband and they will scan your pass to verify that you did, and then they'll give you a wristband for the night. And you can do this every single time without having to pay anything in the park. You've already paid online. I hope that saves people money and time, because Six Flags just changed this on the website. It was hidden in a totally different section that just said the words add-ons, and a lot of people did not know to click on that for this, but that has been fixed. Another option for you guys is the Express Pass. If you're worried that the crowds are going to be too big and you don't want to wait in line for these haunted houses, they do range from $79 a night up to $89 a night, and this depends on the day of the week and also September versus October. Prices will be higher in October, but there's another thing to consider if you are not a season pass holder. If you need to purchase tickets, then you can bundle them with the haunted house wristbands as well. So if you're doing the tickets plus haunted house option, it's going to be $75 to $85 in September, and then it's going to be $85 to $95 per night in October. You can also include the express haunted house wristbands with the single day tickets, and those start at $105 a night. And it should be mentioned that there is no season express haunted house pass. If you want to upgrade and you have the season pass for the standard haunted house admission, you have to pay the difference each night from the normal haunted house pass to the express. So for Saturday, September 6th, it was an additional $39. And last but not least, I want to mention the Diamond Elite option for haunted houses. Diamond Elite memberships are the only season pass or membership that includes haunted houses for free, but you do not get the express passes with that. You would have to pay the difference again. And in my experience, the lines in September are not long enough to warrant the express pass. There were many times that I was the only person waiting in line on September 6th. And because of that, they would not let me in the haunted house. I actually had to wait longer because I was by myself. They want to send groups of at least 3. You'll notice that the lines are actually different for every haunted house. Some of them move slower than others, and that's because for Hexenhaus and Nosferatu, for example, they don't want to send more than 5 people through the house at a time, so they send very small groups. But at Cinema Slasher, they send upwards of 25 people per group. That line will move very fast, so don't be discouraged if it looks like a long line there. And now, moving on, we have 2 updates to cover for this weekend. It's September 11th as I'm recording this, and I wanted to say that I saw a comment about a coming soon under construction banner near the water park, and I have footage of it here. I filmed it on Saturday. I did not not include it in my video for Sunday. Here it is. And we can now begin speculating what's gonna happen behind this sign. Are they gonna tear down those 2 water slides and just start leveling the land? Or are they gonna tear down the water slides and just start work on new water slides? I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that it's a new roller coaster or water ride for the theme park or some indoor attraction. But if it's just water slides for Hurricane Harbor, I guess I'm not gonna be all too surprised. Anyway, it's cool that they're putting this sign in the theme park. It's not just behind the scenes in the water park. It's actually there up front, letting everyone know that something's coming. And it has bubbles on it, so maybe it is water related. The other thing to note is that Jeffrey Siebert posted on Instagram today saying that Gully Washer reopens this weekend and the river will run red. That is very awesome to hear. I can't wait to be back at the park tomorrow, September 12th, because I'm gonna go live on TikTok as well as film again for YouTube, and I'm gonna show you what's going on with Gully Washer. Can't wait to see that reopened. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want spoilers on what the scares and haunted houses were like, see my previous video from September 7th. That was another day in the Hennisphere.